Hello, I'm Rosalie. What is this video for? It's for when schools and us parents have disagreements. What do we do? The disagreement sometimes makes you feel alone as the parent against the school, and that you have no power, that you're by yourself against everyone. I want to emphasize to you that I'm a parent myself. Do I need to demand and list the things I want? No. There are laws that are clear that parents are members of a team and need to be involved equally. They can express their opinions and discuss. Sometimes the parents are expressing and they get the runaround and there's a disagreement. We have a process. And the last part of that process is an official hearing, where the Board of Education a complaint is filed, the BECA. I don't want to leap ahead. Let's go back. And I'm here to help you. The Disability Law Office Center, DLC, will get phone calls. Parents will say, oh, the school, I'm getting really frustrated. We're having all types of disagreements and there's no change. And the DLC will tend to ask, have you already let them know as the school that you're complaining? Oh, yeah, the parent will say, I've already done that. I've complained. And the DLC will ask how you complained. Did you call, talk, or did you write something down and send it in? Parents will often say, I called. I haven't written anything yet. The DLC's first suggestion is writing. Special education is very important. Talking goes away. You need proof. Something you can send in. Any concerns, complaints, worries. It's important to write to that person and send them a letter and make a copy and file it away. When you send off your letter, sometimes it will become lost. That's fine. It's important that you have it in your file. That way later when you need it, you have it ready. You have proof ready to share. I want to emphasize your complaint, your dispute. The dispute itself is like climbing a ladder. There are different rungs, different levels. Sometimes the IEP meeting has a disagreement that arises and you think that's it, that you have to drop it and that you're stuck. No. That disagreement back and forth, and if there's no resolution, it's important for you to understand that that no is not the last decision, that you can go one step ahead and above in your complaint. If the parents have already had the meeting and written a complaint and sent off complaint after complaint and are not satisfied, what they do is take it to the next level. The next level is called mediation. And it starts with a written letter being sent off to the school requesting for their involvement in a mediation. Understand that mediation itself is voluntary. The school can say no. Now, when you bring in a mediator, often it's successful. And the reason is because they don't work for the school. They don't work for me. They work under the Department of Elementary and High School Education, and they're versed in educational law. And they help the parent and teacher come to resolution better. 50% of mediation is successful and results in the school and parents agreeing. Now remember, IEPs can often get no's as a result, and you have to take it to the next step up to be successful. Mediation itself is not formal. If I have no lawyer, often the school will also not have a lawyer. If mediation fails, what do? You take it one step up and you apply for a hearing request at the BECA. And you apply and request for a lawyer to discuss first. They will help. Because really, if you're going to sue the school, it's important that you know and understand the process. When you file for a hearing request, you have the right to call for a resolution meeting. a resolution session. Remember, mediation with the school can be tell you no, and that it's voluntary. So a resolution meeting is required, and they have to be involved. Sometimes you'll have a meeting and there's no resolution, but remember, it's voluntary. Cool. So you sit down and you can take in what they're saying, the school's reasoning, their story, their logic, and see if I have a good case. If there's a resolution meeting fails and it's not successful, there's one more option you have before a formal hearing. And what's the last one? It's called interpreter error. Before a formal hearing. It's called element of. Remember that the mediation with the school is voluntary. They come and they're involved. It's the same with the agreement conference. It's voluntary. Really, there are three. Number one, you apply for a request for a hearing, for you can have an agreement conference. The hearing officer will apply, and they must have permission. They sit down with the school, and the two of them have both the school and the parents have lawyers that sit and discuss. The agreement meeting tends to be controlled by the current BECA superintendent, the hearing case officer, with many years' experience. During the meeting, what do you think it will look like? The head up will review all the information with the parents and the school one-on-one and discuss. And the benefit is for the one above to get feedback and say, oh, you're strong ASL, you're weak, or feedback about strong or weaknesses in myself. Often the problems can be resolved instantly. The reason why is because the person ahead has a lot of experience with one-on-ones, with giving feedback, helping think and move forward at the court, or if not, then they can drop. The last thing left to do in the process is a formal hearing. Sometimes the hearing ends up in federal court. Well, it doesn't happen often, but the hearing looks like a special education courtroom. The school district will have a lawyer. The parents should have a lawyer too. And what will it look like? They will have a conference call discussion to share documents, files, back and forth. When you show up with the hearing, you'll have to explain in closed discussion, back and forth, turn-taking conversation. Sometimes it's a closed conversation and you put it on hold till later and write down and send it in. The hearing officer themselves, when they've closed discussion, they must make a decision that includes 25 days, within 25 days. That disagreement and back and forth with the school, it's a long process. I understand you can be willing to agree anytime. It's interesting, 2011, 544 hearings requested and applied for. 544. Guess how many of those really went to court? 35. Meaning that 500 of those above that came to a resolution and agreement and signed up before they had to go to a hearing. It's important to remember and emphasize that you are suing the school. The court is the last option. Go to a lawyer, see if my case is strong and worth to proceed. Go back and forth and discuss. Remember that that's why the law is there, to give us rights, for including you make sure you seize the opportunity to discuss with the lawyer at the DLC here. We will evaluate and help you.